Well, today we're going to make my mother's famous flaky, salty pie crust. Rachel, we're going to have you go ahead and show people how it's done. First thing you're going to need to do is put in 2 cups of sifted all-purpose flour. Rachel's very precise, so this is going to be the way you should do it. The nice thing about this recipe is it's very flaky. The negative on it is you're making it with lard, which is animal fat, as opposed to Crisco, which is vegetable. So some people won't want to do this recipe, but if it's something you're doing once a year for a holiday, I think it's great. All right, she's got the flour in the bowl. The next thing she's going to do is put in a ½ teaspoon of salt. And then she's going to put in 2/3 cup of oats. Go ahead and first distribute the salt in the flour. That's good. Now you're going to do 2/3 of a cup of lard. And if we could show the container of lard so people kind of know what that looks like. I use this Armour, but there's several brands of it. Okay, and then the Crisco is more traditionally what people use. And so now you just put that in using plastic is good because it comes out easier. I always use a knife, a flat butter knife, just because it seems to fit in the little cup better. Or a spatula would work as well. So once you get this flour or the lard in the cup, then you go ahead and transfer it to the bowl with the flour. So right now all we have is flour, salt, and lard. And then that's just going to go, so you have to kind of work at getting it all in there. But alright, so now she's got those two together, and then she's going to use what a lot of people don't know what that is. That's a pastry blender. And it's basically got blades that work the lard into the flour. So she's working that nicely. This takes maybe a minute or two, not long, but what the point is you're trying to get it to be like little balls of flour. You're distributing the lard evenly. I'm going to show you for just a minute. Here in the cookbook, it kind of gives you a picture of what you're trying to do. This stage is basically you mix up the flour and lard, then you're going to roll the dough into a ball, and if you cut it with your hand like that, it makes it roll out more like a ball, and then you're going to put it in the pie pan, crimp it, and then pretty much that's the way that works. Now let's go back and see what our flour mixture looks like. Yeah, it's coming along. Now we're just about done, and we're going to be adding water. So we have a bowl of ice water that we've got ready to go. You want the water nice and icy. And then we're going to put it in the bowl by tablespoons. And it says 5 to 7. I tend to go with 6 just because I'm going to go in the middle. Now you want the flour in the end to have sort of a pea size look to it, and she did a great job. That's just exactly what it should look like. Alright, and now you're going to want to get your tablespoon and start putting your 5 tablespoons in. Usually you'll just add 1 or 2 at a time and mix the ice water in. And now it's 1, and then we'll do 2, and then she can start mixing it. Is this fun, Rachel?
Sure. It is fun. You don't want to press it in, right?
No. You're just kind of lightly stirring it. If you work the dough or the pastry too much, it takes away the flakiness. And the nice thing about lard is it has its own salt in it, so this is going to make a nice salty pie crust. It's really good with something like a quiche or certain kinds of pies when you want it that real salty taste. So that's the third one. And then we'll go with, that's our
Should I do
Pandora
another one?
music. Yeah, go ahead and do the next one.
Let me get it to dry spot.
Okay, now we're probably about the point where we're going to lay it out there. We're going to need flour on our the island there. All right, just sprinkle the flour out on a
More?
cutting board. Or, yeah, that's good. Just more. Okay, and spread it out evenly. Now you're going to take that flour or the pie crust and make that, shape it into a bowl or shape it into a ball and get it, just drop it out there on the surface. Now this is where you're pushing it together. You're not trying to mix it with your hands, you're just pressing it together. Trying to get that, form the ball. Sometimes if it's a little bit floury, you're going to take another tablespoon and just sort of drop it in there because you're realizing it's just might need a little bit more.
Yeah, I've only put like 4 in.
Okay, go ahead and put another. I would put 2 more in then, because I usually use 6 in the end. Okay, that should do it. Does that feel like it's a little bit more sticky? You want it to be able to stick together, but you don't want to put too much water in because then you have kind of a gooey pie crust. So that's probably going to be about right. Now we're just going to, oh, is it too gooey now?
Yeah.
Okay, well just flip it back over, the whole thing. Good. It's always going to be something you just kind of get the feel for as you're working with it. All right, now go ahead and push it into a ball. I think we're going to be fine on that. It looks, you can see how it's kind of almost stringy. That shows the flakiness you're going to get. All right, now let's just go ahead. Let's just work with what we have here. We don't really need to get it exactly right. We just want to show the process. Now we're going to go ahead and make it into as round of a circle as you can, almost like a square. Square it off, and then you're going to make the indentations with the side of your hand. Perfect. And that's just going to help you keep it into a circle. All right, and then you're going to take a little bit of flour on the top from our bowl, and then we're just going to roll it out. How it goes. Just go work it from one side to the next until you see that it's getting to be the round shape you're after. And then once you've got it nice and round, you're gonna work with it. It's so flaky that it could fall apart on you. You're gonna take it and kind of fold it in quarters, and I'll show you that in just a minute how that works. And then this is very malleable. You can go ahead and work with it. If you get little cracks in it, no problem. Just stick it back together again. And then just show how that works. Okay, now we're going to take it and fold it in half. And just flip it over, and there you go. And now I'm going to show you where you're going to use your pie crust pie pan. And we're going to just put it in the pie pan and then fold it back out again, and there you got it. And the next part, we maybe not just get into all the detail on it, but we'll just show you that this is how you do the crimping. Once it's at this stage, you're going to roll the dough on the edge until you get it just the way you want. That looks really good. That's about how it should look. And then when you're finished, it's going to look like this. And it's just, this one doesn't have the nice high fluting on the edge yet because we're going to put another crust on top of it. But that's what the bottom will look like. And then you just repeat the process if you're going to do a double crust pie and just lay it over the fruit or whatever you have in it. And then you're done. Thank you.